Hi, this is Andrew Schlegel, and I'm back with Learn English for Engineers. And we're going to do reading, writing, and speaking using engineering terms today. Okay, so I understand all the students in this course are from non-English speaking countries and they want to work as engineers in English speaking countries. Most of you have had some coursework in your home countries using English, but very little real interaction with English over the years. So that brings us to the lesson objectives here today. What we're looking at is we're going to look at Nikola Tesla's autobiography. He was a famous, mysterious engineer that invented a lot of things that have and influence our society today. So we're going to have this fun. We've been reading this book, and it's a very fun book, and it's free. And what we're learning from this book is how much Tesla contributed to our modern society. And what you're going to be tasked to do is to write 3 paragraphs on a specific invention that Tesla created, how that contributed to society, and in that process, you're going to be using all the engineering vocabulary terms that we've been learning over the last few days. So that's the goal here, is to take those terms and start using them so that when you get into your engineering classes later, you already have an introduction and you've got the English background down on this. Okay, so today's lessons is discuss the objectives, which we just did. We're going to look back over the vocabulary quickly. I'm not going to do that too much because we've been spending the last few days on the vocabulary, so I hope most of you have that down by now. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take an article about Nikola Tesla and we're going to model it. We're going to do a model of that article to a mind web, okay? And we'll discuss that as we go through. And then as a guided practice, I'm going to take that mind web and as a class, we'll put that into an outline and then from an outline to a paragraph form. So this is the process you're going to be doing with whatever topic you choose out of the book. So if you choose out of this book to do, for example, AC motors, okay, or radio, whatever it is Tesla contributed to that you want to discuss and how that impacted civilization today, then you just follow this similar procedure, okay? You'll do the mind web, and then from that you go to the outline, and then from that you go to your actual writing. Okay, so we're going to work through the process here, so hopefully all of you are comfortable with it, okay? And then after that, you're going to get your independent practice where you get to do your project. Okay, so down here is the link to the book. The book is free. Here's the vocabulary. Like I said, I'm not going to be discussing all this. I'm not going to review this vocabulary too much. We've been spending days on it, so you should know most of this vocabulary on the various exercises that we've been doing. And here's more of the vocabulary. There's even a couple more list of words in your tables that I've provided you yesterday, so make sure all of you take a look over that. Okay, so let's get started here. All right, so if you take a look at this article here, I'm not going to call it up because you guys have already reading it. So let's take 5 minutes to go ahead and read this article, look over it. So here's the article. Like I said, I'm not going to read it to you because you should have already read it. And just for your reference, here it is. So go ahead, take 5-10 minutes to read that, and then we're going to discuss it. Okay, great. So we're back with that. So let's go ahead and let's see if we can model this topic on AC current. So Tesla invented a lot of things or made a huge contribution to many things we know as radio, electric generator, motors, fluorescent lights, alternating current, and that could be one of the biggest contributions because that's how all the power gets to our homes and everything today is using alternating current invented by Tesla, at this point, almost 100 years ago, something like that. So anyway, when we look at that article, what's the article really about? It's about direct current and alternating current. So let's go ahead and just write those down here in these little bubbles. We write down direct current and alternating current. So can anybody tell me something that Tesla said in that article about direct current? Some kind of information about how it's negative or just any kind of information about it? Very good, inefficient. Okay, so we just write inefficient right here. Can anybody give me something else? Great, it causes fires. It's prone to catch fire, so that's not a good thing. We don't want, we don't want our electric power plants catching on fire all the time. Okay, anything else? Great, and that's exactly right. Is they had to put substations like every 2 miles just to prevent the overheating across the transmission lines. So that's quite a problem with DC power. So let's talk about alternating current. What did Tesla say about that? Right, very good. Is energies are cyclic. Okay. What else? That's the key thing. Right, very good. Good job. Is stepped up voltage. You cannot step up a DC voltage, but you can step up an AC voltage. And what does that mean? What's the purpose of that? Well, we're going to discuss that a little bit as we go along. And yes, polyphase principle. Okay, so this is good. There's more. You can read through it. I'm just providing you an example. There's definitely more. Okay, let's go ahead and fill these lines. Now, from this, let's see if we can put this in an outline form, okay? So if I go to this DC current, I'll just put it here and say Tesla claims that DC is inferior to ACY. Yeah, inefficient, right? And just fill in the rest. Starts fire. So you can see now. Let's do the same thing with the AC current, the alternating current. Right? Is he claimed AC is better than DC because energies are cyclic. You can step up the voltage, and polyphase principle is in effect. Okay, so with that, we're going to end this lesson. I think this is enough for now because we've reached the time limit. Thank you.